Never relapse again. How to win long term. It's all about a long term game. Now, this is the last episode of how to stop beating your meat. Of course, and that comes from watching Dirty Demonic Sites, the obvious thing. You know, I hope you watched episode 1, episode 2, 3, and 4. You have to go for every stage and pass every stage before going to episode 5. You know, and this right here, man, this is the last one. You know what I mean? And obviously gonna break it down now. You understand? So the first thing you have to understand is that relapse. When you relapse, there is no shame. There is no shame. There's no embarrassment. Because if you view it that way, then put yourself down. You need to uplift yourself. Of course, you got to take responsibility, accountability for the mistakes that you made that lead to relapse. But there's nothing. You have to view it in a different light. You can't view yourself as a failure, that you're not masculine, that you're not good enough, that you will never get past this. You can't do that. You have to make sure that you view it in a positive light. Everything you got to view in a positive light, and that is that you that you take responsibility, accountability for your actions, how you can improve, how you can get better. That's where you have to view it as. You can't view it as a shame, embarrassment, but that's all negatives, putting yourself down. You put yourself down, how are you supposed to lift yourself up? Ain't gonna work. When I relapsed a long time ago, I go back to the drawing board. I assess. I take personal accountability. You know, I said, cool. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. That's fine. You know, and then and take the information on board and move forward. Once you apply the information, that's when you learn the lesson. But if you haven't applied the information, you do this over and over again, then you're going to stay stuck in the cycle. So make sure that you relapse. Once you relapse, it's to view only in a positive light. And it's very easy, smooth. You'll be able to make a smooth transition and to continue to improve and get better. Otherwise you got a long way to go. Now track your streak. Of course, you don't have to do this, but it's good to know of where you was to where you are now. You see? But you don't want to get too attached to it as well at the same time. That's the thing, it's a double-edged sword. You're aware, maybe once in a while, check, okay, cool. How many months you've been doing it, you know? But even if you do it, you see, yeah, that's fine. Okay, you've done X amount of time, I've done well. But once you've done that, put that to the side and keep it moving. And you keep growing and keep evolving. But don't get caught or stuck. And it's getting too, you're too attached to it. I've been there for 6 months. You haven't relapsed. Or 6 months without, intimacy and all these things. So you have to be careful. But it's good to know that you're making progress, and it's good to know where you was now, to acknowledge of how well you're doing. And that gives you more appetite to keep on going. But even never check that how you're supposed to know how much progress you made. That's the thing. You need to know. That's very important to track. You can maybe do that every once in a month, 2 months, 3 months. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it. But you want to track how much progress you are making. You know? And then once you know, it's good to have a small celebration. You know? Maybe, I don't know, a cheap meal on a Sunday. This can be going to the cinema, whatever. Do you do something that you like to do, and just of course celebrate that win, and that sparks up the appetite to go for more. This is a big one, accountability partner. You see, I've got to be on this journey, to overcome what's on dirty sides and start blowing your seed. It can be lonely. You see, it can be lonely. And of course, we human beings are social beings. We're social. We crave that a lot. You're social beings and that. We can't communicate because, you see, the way I view it is that when you're communicating, you are letting out that energy. It makes you feel good because it's expression. You can have a conversation, you're laughing, you're joking. It makes you feel good. It doesn't make you social awkward. Because if you're not communicating this there by yourself, you haven't got no one to share the journey with, then, it becomes, you can call it as boring, or you become uninspired. So it's very important it's good to have an accountability partner that's on the same journey as you. But not many people are. We live in society, so we live in an over-sexualized society. People do what makes them feel good in the moment. Right? That's watching porn, intoxication, drugs. People do what's good in the moment, but they don't realize the long-term consequences of their actions. You see, so you might find very tough, challenging to find somebody that's on your journey as well, that's conscious and aware of, it doesn't make sense watching porn. It doesn't make sense blowing seed away for no reason. Unless you're reproducing. It makes sense to get that energy and create and manifest the life that you want. That's the way forward. You see? So it's very important. You can go on Google and join accountability groups. That people, you join a community that are the same journey. I've got one as well. I've got Infinite Potential community. I've also got a free Discord group as well that I can join as well. Like-minded people that all they care about is evolving, getting better and better. You can join that. Link in the description. You see? So it's very, very important. That makes the journey more enjoyable. That's the word, more enjoyable. You become more motivated. More inspired by people. Oh, I've been on my journey now for 6 months. I've learned this and that. They share their tips, their knowledge, their wisdom that they can take on board and you can improve faster in your journey. That's why it's important to have an accountability partner. But always at the same time, if you're mentally strong enough, you can also do it. You can also do it by yourself if that's okay. If there's no option, but there's options. You can try your best. Go through. Of course, I'm here. I got my community. You can join the community. And where you call it, and that's gonna help you a lot on your journey. And last but not least, the living with purpose is the best addiction. Of course, living with purpose is the best addiction, and that is, you're constantly evolving. You're going every aspect of your life. You see, everything that's the purpose behind it, because you get in return. You're doing it. For example, you're exercising. You know that you're gonna feel good mentally, physically. If you eat healthy, the same. If you work on your skill, it's the same. So all these things, you're living with purpose because you're doing things that bring value to your life, not to destroy your life. That's the best addiction. The best addiction is not what your friend, your family member, or society tells you to. Do what you feel, eat what you want, drink what you want, don't exercise. Don't exercise, have fun, watch TV for hours, play video games for hours. That's the worst addiction because what do you get from return? Cool, you've got your little boss in the moment, but afterwards, you feel like shit. You're not productive. poor mindset. You're not developing as a human being. Your character, your mindset, your health. That's a life, in my opinion, that's got no purpose. It's not got no purpose. Literally, it's got no purpose. So it's not up to you what life you want to live, because you got free will. I've got free will, and decide what's best for me. You're gonna decide what's best for you. But I've told you the difference between the two. It's entirely up to you. So that's all God say for this video, man. We talked about relapsing. There's no shame and embarrassment in relapsing. It's just how you view it. We talk about track your progress, hold an accountability partner. Living with purpose is the best addiction. Now, if you have any questions, you saw anything, comment down below. So important. With your comments, make sure you get involved in the community group. Because I drop a free value on there, and make sure to ask the polls. I ask you what question what content you want to see, so I can help you be the best version that you can be. That's what this channel is all about. And make sure to break the algorithm to as many people as possible by liking, commenting, hitting that red subscribe button, so a lot of people can overcome this issue of blowing their meat, watching corn, so they can be the best version of themselves, live their best life. Thanks for watching, man, and I'll see you in my next video.